Hello again, and welcome back to Super Mario RPG Retranslated. Now that we've got the frog coin back from Croco and I have successfully evaded those enemies for a change, we can head back to the Mushroom Kingdom and spend the coin on something. As long as the store is open, that is. Although something tells me the store isn't going to be open today, but we'll see. These weird-looking monsters have started attacking the town while we were gone, so we should probably save the townspeople from them. These enemies are called Shipers in this translation. In the original English translation, they were called Shysters, probably because Shiper sounds really weird, although it is a combination of the words Hyper and Shy Guy. So yes, the town is being attacked by Shy Guys on pogo sticks that shoot fireballs at you. Welcome to the Mario world. You can take them out in 2 Thunderbolts from Mallow, or a Thunderbolt and an additional hit from Mario. Now, you do get rewarded for saving everybody, but you can just go straight to the boss if you want. I'm going to collect all of the flower pills. First up, we should save this guy. You might remember that he was the guy who had his wallet stolen from Croco. So if we save him, we should be able to return it and get a reward for that as well. I also happen to know that in the remake, they make it possible to block single target spells, like the, what was it called? Fire Orb? I remember it being called Drain in the original English translation of this game, which was thankfully corrected in the remake because it's a fireball and you're gonna call it Drain. Yeah, okay. The remake also makes it possible to block that spell, as I mentioned. Normally you could not block magic under any circumstance, and it was very, very annoying. So I think you can, this is a neat detail. The house actually shakes while that guy is bouncing on the door outside. I don't think you get anything for fighting that one in particular. You definitely get something for saving these guys. So a nice and simple routine. Attack one with a hammer, use Thunderbolt, and then attack the other one with a hammer. Mallow is useful. I've been watching playthroughs of the remake, and let me just say, Mallow MVP, for sure. Isn't this amazing? They've got an entire battle background for the inside of the house here. Mallow is now level 4, which means he might be able to take out the enemies in one hit with Thunderbolt. So let's see if that works out here. A little more resistant to that attack as well. He's actually got a lot of max HP now that I think about it. He's got 38 and Mario's only got 30, but then again his level is mysteriously higher than Mario's because I held off on leveling Mario until he joined. Yeah, he seems to be trying to outbounce that enemy, but I suppose we'll just have to deal with it ourselves. I just love how the guy rushed upstairs and then found his son and then just kind of cowered in the corner. Okay, Thunderbolt takes them out in one hit now. Excellent. Thank you very much. More pills for the drug addict Mario. No, you don't want to grow up to be like Mario. He's addicted to drugs. This kid always amused me because you can stand on him and he'll just bounce like crazy. I think that's all the items you can get from the town, so now it's time to... Ouch. Okay. So as I may or may not have mentioned, you can't run away from these, so I'll just have to Thunderbolt them. But now it's time to get into the castle. This is so good. Looks like Mallow's always been the MVP. Just slip right in here. We see someone getting chased into the next room, so let's help him out here. I'm not sure if you can, like, catch the one enemy as it's chasing him into this room, and then that'll save you a fight, because then you don't have to deal with 2 enemies. But, this is very easy. And I happen to know that I'm going to have access to a mushroom very soon, so this is fine. I'll take these guys out. I've got the FP for it. And I could just use a flower pill, so, you know. Mario RPG was never the most difficult game in the world. Oh, hey, they shook it up a little bit by giving us 3 of them. This is good EXP at any rate. Even though Mario RPG isn't really a difficult game, I'm noticing that you level kind of slow. But they probably just don't want to give you too much at once. So you can just steal from the vault again. Which is good, because I want that mushroom. And the vault guard is cowering in the corner, and he's got a gold coin. An alert pin. Okay, so this is called a wake-up pin in the original English translation. It prevents you from falling asleep. And it's got a higher defense score than the sterile pin, so I'll take it. Status effects aren't really a worry in this part of the game anyways. Like, we've seen a couple of enemies that can inflict poison. Oh, that enemy just respawned, so I guess taking those 2 out wasn't, like, worth anything. I've never actually managed to open the door before this cutscene triggers. That's funny. Okay, so it's just 2 guys. And they're going to get thunderbolted. But unfortunately, they're fast enough to get a hit in. But no problem. Oh, you can actually heal in the next room as well, I just realized. Okay, now Mario's level 4. And you get 4 HP for this level. The amount of points you get for each bonus actually depend on which level it is. So, like, there's always going to be one that's worth more than the other 2. And I tend to take that one instead. So you can get healed here. And this save point is actually only here at this point in the game. So I suppose you can't do the thing with the chair anymore. Okay, maybe there wasn't really a point to going in there. There's supposed to be like a 3rd flower pill somewhere, but I guess it doesn't really matter. We're in the castle anyway, so let's just slip in here. Maybe, you know, I actually know that if you run away from an encounter, the enemy is still there and it's still moving, but you can actually jump on it. So I wonder if it's possible to have another shot at that chest on top of the door there by running away from the Shyper, I guess. I'll just call it by the name this patch calls it. And you can get up to the chest that way. Now, there is, in fact, I'm sure everybody who has watched a speedrun in this game knows, there's a way to actually skip this boss if you can manage to talk to the minister in the back. But you have to jump over the cutscene trigger, and that's very difficult to learn, especially with this controller. Sordor? Sordor? That's what this guy is called? Okay. So, in the original English translation, he was called Mac. And since he is a knife, that's a reference to Mac the Knife. You'll have to look up what that is. I don't really have time to explain. The remake renames him to Claymorton, which is a way better pun. And speaking of the remake... Oh, this music, by the way, best boss theme ever. Speaking of the remake, you know, I actually feel like, now that I've seen the sprites for these characters in the remake, or not their sprites, their models, excuse me, but honestly, the sprites don't really do the character designs justice, because you probably can't tell, but Sordor, Claymorton, whatever you want to call him, like, his pogo stick on a knife body is actually not his entire body. Also, you can stun him with a Thunderbolt to lose 1 turn just like Croco. But, like, he's actually a guy on a pogo stick with a knife bottom. So, like, you probably can't tell unless you're playing the remake, because the model in the remake makes it more clear. I always thought his entire body was the pogo stick and knife. But there you have it. Now the enemies are going to be sending out some very powerful spells from here on out. You don't want to use Fireball because he resists that. I guess Thunder is his weakness, but as long as it's just him on the screen, I don't really want to use it. It's more worth it to be able to take out all of the Shipers as well. And the Shipers do respawn, but as long as they are out, he can bounce into the air, and then, well, he doesn't even come down on you like you might expect him to. Like, he doesn't, the jump isn't an attack for him, but he just goes off screen for a little while, and you have to fight all the Shipers until he comes back. I've heard some people jokingly refer to Mario as the Dragoon who is not a Dragoon, because Dragoons in Final Fantasy, they jump really high. So, that's something Mario does. So he's technically a Dragoon. Maybe. He would need a spear for that, I think. So I don't really remember how much HP Sordor has, but I'm getting into a bit of a rhythm here. Just taking out the Shipers and hoping for... Yep, see, he jumped into the air. So I'm just going to block with Mario and then wipe all these guys out with Thunderbolt so he comes back. I'm not sure if you could, like, take out all but one of the Shipers and then that would prevent him from doing the jump move. I really don't know. But if all the Shipers are gone, just switch to doing jumps. I may need to use another honey syrup. You could see that I used one already. Yep, gonna need just one more. I'll have to restock later. I didn't check out the shop at this point, but you can technically buy things. Like, the shopkeeper is just cowering in the corner, and he says, take what you want, but leave some coins behind. Which means you could Mario could technically steal from the shopkeeper if he wanted to. But he's a nice guy. You wouldn't do that. And whatever you want to call that guy, he's down, and, hey, we get the first star. I mean, this game is called Legend of the Seven Stars in English, so you might imagine there's going to be stars at some point. I like how his eyes are blocked when he's holding the star like that. If you do the boss skip trick, then you actually lose access to this little menu here that shows you how many star pieces you have. It's kind of funny, and it causes another thing later on. But that is neither here nor this playthrough. Oh, they mentioned Smithy by name here. But then again, they already mentioned Smithy by name. So you don't have to actually talk to the guy. You could just walk away. Doesn't really change much. So curiously, those enemies have nothing to do with Bowser, which is an interesting plot twist because normally it's always Bowser. But not this time. Ribbit Lake. That is still going to take some getting used to. And he completely forgot why he's here in the first place. Well, I guess the player will have to remind him. Croakstool Canal? Croakstool... Okay, that's a surprise. Croakstool. Like, it's Toadstool, but with croak. And in the original translation, and I think the remake as well, it's called the Caro Sewers, because Caro is apparently the sound frogs make. Why is there even a sewer in this world anyways? Well, they have plumbing, obviously. They have pipes, and Mario is a plumber, so I guess it's, it makes sense that there is a... What the heck is a rusk? Well, a rusk. Okay. We should restock on items, by the way. So much that I have to, like, get used to now. This should be good, I think. I don't really need that much, though. I got so many coins from fighting enemies. Let us move on to the next area, the Croakstool Canal. Ugh. Tongue. So the next boss is just called Tongue. Oh, whoops. There was a little Easter egg you could have done if you try to walk away from that area after Mallow goes in the pipe. He, like, jumps back out and shouts at Mario. So I'll go ahead and save. So I suppose I can explain what's up with the boss's name when we get there. But first I should point out that this music is so perfectly composed that it gave me nightmares as a kid. So thanks a lot, Shimomura. Let's see, which direction do I go in? I think I go in this pipe. I just watched streams of this game. I should really remember all of this. Okay, so in this room. I suppose I can fight this enemy. Hey, check this guy out. He's totally a Kingdom Hearts Heartless, right? Even called a Shadow. There needs to be a Heartless based on that enemy now. So let's see if Thunderbolt does a number on him. Oh, he's actually resistant. That animation is really good for a SNES animation, I gotta say. So the enemies around here tend to drop pure waters, which are probably just called holy waters because, you know, same change as the Fire Emblem series made to holy waters. They will take out undead enemies in a single turn, but you can also sell them for a lot of money. So farming them isn't a bad idea. This is a star, isn't it? I think it's a star. I really don't want to, like, spend it now, but you know what? There's no point in, like, conserving it for later. There's just not a lot of enemies you can hit with it, though. I got a level. You can even preserve it through multiple areas. So that's nice. Mallow hits level 5. I think we'll give him magic. I could give him more hit points. But he's got a +2 here. Oh well, more hit points for you. You're gonna need it to stay alive. Okay, in this room, I don't think you go in that pipe. I'm pretty sure you jump over here, over this guy. Yes, this is where we need to be, because when you hit that button, the water drains, and that's important because now we can access a later area. And I've run into a Boo. I have no idea why the canal or sewers or whatever is filled with ghosts. I'm gonna see if Thunderbolt will get rid of them. Nah, that isn't too much damage. Well, I don't feel like dealing with 4 enemies at a time, so I think I'll just run. It takes so long for them to actually, like, do their moves and everything. Alright, let's get out of here. Geez, Mallow's the one who's running away. He seems to be better at that than Mario. So there was a quick little shortcut back to the surface in case you needed it. But that doesn't stop the water from being drained, I think. Okay, cool. So we just need to head through here, and there is going to be a pipe that you can only get to once the water is drained. Now in this area, there's something very special I need to do. So I'm going to save just in case I make a mistake. So what you do is you get one of the ghosts over here. And then you run away from it. Why is Mario so slow? Oh, neither of them could run away here, so we gotta wait for all of these guys to do their animations. Oh, they can inflict fear status. Well, that's not really an issue. That should make it more likely to run away, to be honest, but that's not how it works. Okay, getting annoyed here. Dark Shivers. Oh. This move has a really weird name in the original translation, but it just inflicts fear. There's like two separate moves that do nothing but inflict fear. I'm glad I took HP on that level, just saying. There we go. So, like I said, you can abuse the fact that you can still stand on the enemy after running away from it and get into this pipe way earlier than you were originally meant to. And this enemy just outright tells you this is a dead end. And by the way, do not try to fight that enemy. You are not strong enough for it at this point. This is a very, very later part of the game. What you're meant to do is hop over to this chest, and there will be a key item inside of it, but because of the sequence break, it is actually just going to be a regular flower. But you can still come back and get the item. I didn't lose out on it or anything. That was anyways, that was a really, really great detail for them to put in. Like, they knew you could get up there, so they put something in place to account for the possibility that you could. Alright, so this boss is called Tongue. In English, he's called Belome, I think. And Belome is, I think, the Japanese word for tongue, something like that. But the point is, he's got a nice long tongue and he knows how to use it. So, I don't think he's weak to thunder or fireballs or anything, but Mallow can actually punch the guy. Go figure. Oh. Oh, I missed the timing. I thought he was going to do another move. Oh, well. So he's specifically looking at Mallow here with a bit of hunger in his 4 eyes. So I'll just keep jumping for now. I should probably pop one of my syrups. Just in case, because I know what's going to happen. Wow. He's ecstatic about literally eating Mallow. He'll come back after you do enough damage with Mario. Huh. Okay, so in the original English translation, he has a little bit of a poem that he says when he first does the Scarecrow move, which missed, so I don't have to explain Scarecrow's status quite yet. I like that they put in a little poem of sorts when he does that move. Kind of adds a little bit of personality. They definitely were going for a different personality than the original translation went for. And you can see, by the way, Jump's attack power is still going up the more I use it. Ah. I forgot that he had a sleep move, so I'm glad I put the wake up pin on Mallow, or whatever it's called. The alert pin. I'll figure this out later. So far so good. Are we gonna go through this entire fight without getting Scarecrow status? It's like one of the more oddball status effects in RPGs, to be honest. You better let Mallow go, though. I don't have any more flower points. Okay, cool. Well, away he goes. So, why was there a monster in the sewers standing on a switch that holds the gate down? I have no idea. But yeah, he wasn't lying. Suddenly, there's a flood now. And I love that Mallow tries to step on the button, but then gets flung off, as if he were too light, essentially, to hold the button down, and it flung him back. It's funny to think of it that way. Ah, the Wine River. Oh, why did I say I needed a tutorial? Oh, well. So this area is called Midas River in the English translation. Midas referring to the guy who could turn anything to gold by touching it. And it was originally called the Wine River, which makes sense because on the soundtrack, this song is still called Let's Go Down the Wine River. I'm going to try and pick up as many coins as possible, but I'm going to be focused on the frog coins. Those are special coins that can purchase some interesting items later. I'm not too worried about getting all the coins, though. This is hardly the best way to farm frog coins. You gonna show me where it is? There we go. No, give me that coin. Oh, well. There's like a couple of tunnels that you can go into to access other areas, but I don't really know what the point of that is. And now the barrel jumping minigame. My timing was off. Oh, whoops. Messed up and, yeah, I'm just gonna focus on trying to get the coins on these jumps. I mean, not that it matters. Like, the coins here don't actually transfer over to your inventory. I jumped too early again. And it didn't really matter there. I should have just let myself run into the barrel. Also, this song, amazing remix in the... Great, I got hit by a fish. The remake remixed this song into, like, one of my favorite songs on the whole OST, to be honest. But I could probably say that about every song. Nearly every song. Right, getting hit by the fish probably costed me. So let's see what my score was. Oh, I got enough for a frog coin. Go figure. Oh, ROM Hacker, you made a little bit of an error. I'm sorry. But I'm going to have to dock you points for that. I'm just kidding. And we get a Koopa shell. This item is a new weapon for Mario. It was in... What am I trying to say here? It was translated as Knock Knock Shell. And the reason for that is because Koopas are called Noko Noko in Japan. Something like that. I'll go ahead and save. But I really don't know why they didn't call it a Koopa shell. Like, they kind of don't want to use the word Koopa in the original English translation. It's really weird. Okay, Ribbit Lake. I'll never get used to calling it that. The waterways of the world bring news to us here. I don't see how they could find out instantly that we beat Tongue. Can't believe I have to call him that now. You have to actually input a jump there. Frogfucius, okay. So the remake changed Frogfucius, who is obviously a play on Confucius, the philosopher guy. He's called the Frog Sage in the remake, which doesn't sound as cool, but maybe they thought it was weird to pronounce. I don't know. But I suppose this is one part of the translation that was faithful to the original Japanese, so that's nice. I mean, you wouldn't imagine it, but there it is. Also, he's not floating. He's got a Lakitu carrying him. I don't know how tadpoles could possibly be an effective bridge, but here we are. Do we have to... Okay, here we go. I don't know why there's a pause here, by the way. That was really awkward. The music just stops and yeah. So he actually saw the stars fall out of the sky. Wait, what? Wouldn't the... Oh, I suppose the sword would have broken through the stars and then crashed in the castle. So he did see the stars. That's an interesting point. So he should know where they all... Well, he wouldn't know exactly where they all are. He's referring to a menu option. That was just a teensy bit silly. You know, this isn't the only Squaresoft RPG where a frog is one of your party members. But Mallow isn't exactly a frog. Like, I feel like that should have been blatantly obvious given how he looks. But, you know, this whole shtick has happened before. Hey, what would happen if we used a Maiden's Kiss item on Frog Fuchsius? Okay, Rosetown is unchanged. That's good. You also have to give him the Cricket Rusk, by the way. If you don't, then you'll eventually get stuck until you figure out what you were meant to do. Semi-annoying, but no problem. The Ribbit Staff was originally the Froggy Stick in the translation, and now Mallow has an actual weapon. Now, there's a couple of other side events that you can do at Tadpole Pond. Please jump. You have to actually hold the diagonal and jump there. There's a couple of side things you can do, but I'm not really that interested. They have to do with this shop here that sells some interesting items. The more you progress in one of the side quests, the more items are available, but Tadpole? What? Okay. Let's make room for some it's called a froggy drink. And 30 HP to your entire party is nice. Moving on, I think we should be able to clear the next area. It's a pun on Croak and Rose between it, because it's between Rosetown and Ribbit Lake. So awful. I like Rose way better. Rose way better. You know what I mean. Okay, so this moving platform gimmick is semi-annoying. So you have to actually wait for it to go where you need it to. So in here... I think there's just money in that chest. Either money or a frog coin, so maybe later. I can get money by just doing that. There's some enemies around here, some new ones. Notice that we haven't actually fought an actual Lakitu yet. They've been carrying enemies. Also, that enemy jumps in and then just runs away immediately. Fire is their weakness, right? Fire's gotta be the weakness of this flower with lips, which is not a piranha plant, oddly enough. This is actually called an Eve. I think they're called Snapdragons in the English translation. Yeah, I suppose that does enough damage to where it only takes 2 turns to beat them. Ah, Mario gains a level here. Oh, he gets 3 points in magic, so I'll take that. I'm pretty sure the jump spell counts as magic. But it is a physical move. Get up there, please. No, I want the... It's not like I need money. You can get this. I think this actually takes you back to where you entered, which is strange. Oh, and there's enemies around here, too. Upstart? Well, it's got star in the name. Upstart. I'm gonna try Thunderbolt. Alright, they resist it. Just taking out another one. That's a lot of damage, though. You can see that the boost to magic was definitely worth it. I went from doing like 70 damage to 90, so that shows that stats are kind of important, even though you don't really need to worry about them too much in this game. As I said, it's not a very difficult RPG. No, go back. Ugh. No, don't run into that one, too. Okay. Time to get my bearings here. I suppose this is the exit. But, like, it feels like there should be more. Oh, okay, there's still a little bit more. This is just money, I think. So... here's the exit. I might as well just take it. You can explore a little bit more and find some more things, but I'm not really interested. I don't think there's, like, any hidden chests or anything. Poop-yang, Kamek, and Goombari. So the remake does something interesting. All 3 of those enemies that just demonstrated their powers, they have names in the remake. All 3 of them do. I think in the original English translation, they didn't get named. So, yeah, that's interesting to talk about. But I do think that the Koopa Troopa in the front of the line in particular is supposed to be a named character, because we'll be seeing him later. Anyways, that'll do it for Crows. I still hate that. I guess we can head into Rose Town right away. There's still a little bit more time, but I need to stop by the inn. As you can see, they're having problems of their own here. They're getting shot by arrows. Those heads of theirs must make nice bullseyes, don't you think? There's a circle and everything. And we step into the inn and find a child playing with dolls. Why are there dolls of Peach, Bowser, and Mario? It seems like that would be really weird. Yes, that's the first syllable of my name. You have to demonstrate your jump to so many people. It's like an ID card. His jump. Toido. Oh no, it's a pun on Toad. Toid. Like, Toido. Wow, in the English translation, he says Mario died. As in, bought the farm and all of that good stuff. That's, okay. I can't stop referring to Geno as Papa Geno, thanks to a certain theatrical production. What did he get shot by? It's like there was an actual bullet in the doll's gun. So we get knocked out, and presumably we're upstairs sleeping. There's a save point in the bedroom, right? There's gotta be. Yeah. A mysterious-looking star descends upon the Geno doll. Gosh, your sprite is now a lot more detailed. Must be disorienting having eyes all of a sudden. Smile at the camera, and then off he goes. So, who was the mysterious man in blue that suddenly emerged from the doll, or whatever? Well, we'll have to find out next time. I'm going to use the save point, and, next time on Super Mario RPG, perhaps the most magical moment in any video game ever. See you later for that, everybody.